I'm not surprised that I'm sitting here telling you about yet another one of Ubisoft's issues as a company. In the last few weeks, I've been on a kill streak just shitting on them in these videos. But it's not without reason, I promise. I'm not a hater. Maybe a little, but they've been on the bad spectrum of business decisions that's led them on a rapid decline financially and really among the gaming community. They've had bad sales for games, a CEO that shifted all of the blame for their problems on the employees, countless game delays, and as of just recently, having a broken Steam release for an old game of theirs. And since when they did do Steam releases, it's not looking too good for them right now, especially with how ambitious they seem for the future of their game releases. We still have to look forward to Skull and Bones, a pirate ship combat and explorer title that, while it kind of seems a little generic and ripping from the ship gameplay you got in the Assassin's Creed titles, it could still possibly be a promising game. And speaking of Assassin's Creed, this game franchise is arguably the biggest one that Ubisoft still has up its sleeve that can generate high sales numbers. They've already panned out most of the future for this series, before half of it got cancelled. That's tough. And clearly shown that these games are what they're going to bet big on to keep fans interested. But unfortunately, the team that designs the Assassin's Creed games just took a huge blow and lost a very integral part of their group. And while it may not be a death sentence for the series, obviously, the person that resigned from Ubisoft had been with the company for over 17 years and was appointed as creative director for game development in his most recent years, making him directly involved in some of the last good Assassin's Creed games. But find out how you can get directly involved in my Patreon. If you want to support the channel, gain access to exclusive videos that'll never go to YouTube, or be able to watch my channel videos earlier than when I usually upload them, feel free to check the link in the description below and become a Patreon member today. Gene Geston, a name you may not recognize, started his work with Ubisoft all the way back with the first Assassin's Creed title simply as a production coordinator. He then continued his work in Assassin's Creed 2's production as a full-on game designer. And following that, he contributed to every title from Brotherhood all the way up to Assassin's Creed 3 until he was finally promoted to creative director for Assassin's Creed 4 and Assassin's Creed Origins. So this dude, he's an OG, and he undoubtedly worked hard to move his way up the ranks within Ubisoft to get where he was. So even though no one other than the diehard fans of the series probably even knew his name, he definitely had his respect for his work through some of these phenomenal AC titles. So you can imagine the devastation felt not only through Ubisoft, but also through the fans that realized this unsung hero, who was behind some of the last good Assassin's Creed games, when Geston announced his departure from the company. Nowadays, Assassin's Creed titles don't nearly get as much love as they used to, not saying that there still aren't fans, because obviously Valhalla is still thriving, but comparing this title to Assassin's Creed 2 is just not even fair. And even Ubisoft knows this because they announced that they're mainly focusing one of their upcoming titles, AC Mirage, on classic elements of the older titles as an attempt to reclaim the glory days. So with someone who was there directing through the glory days not being there anymore, you can see the issue that arises going forward in the upcoming AC titles. Now, like I said, this obviously is not a death sentence. Someone with just as much experience as Geston could either be hired or maybe even step up from a different position already within Ubisoft's company. But with the decisions that Ubisoft's been making as of late, it's not completely wrong to contemplate the worst for this situation and expect more wood to be thrown in their wildfire. But hey man, I'm willing to forgive Ubisoft for everything and let bygones be bygones. If they get rid of that damned Ubisoft Connect launcher when I buy one of their games from a digital store, because the hassle of using 2 game launchers for one title is the real evil in this equation. So I'm curious to see how Ubisoft goes forward as always, because I'll closely be watching, ready to up the kill streak I got going on. But if something positive on behalf of the company comes from this, then I'll be happy for that too. We'll just have to wait and see if Ubisoft can bounce back. So what do you guys think about Ubisoft's, loss of this OG, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, check out the Patreon if you're interested, and I'll see you on the next one.